Oh, dude. All right, this is really hard. What would Jesus say about giving equal rights to homosexual couples? Maybe health care or retirement benefits. How do Christians approach that? Okay, leave that on the screen because that's a multi-part question. I want to be able to refer back to it. What would Jesus say about giving equal rights to homosexual couples? The question itself is extremely complex. It's extremely complex. I'll unpack it just a little bit, and this is a little bit scary, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so from the first part, there's the idea of equal rights, meaning saying that marriage is the same if it's boy-girl marriage or boy-boy marriage or girl-girl marriage. All right, that's one way of talking about it. Another way of talking about rights is these people can have access to public facilities, or specifically, this one mentions health care or retirement benefits. Now, I'm going to start with the last question first because that's the easiest. How do Christians approach that? All different kinds of ways. People who are sincere believers in Jesus really disagree on this because most of this is a matter of public policy and not a matter of biblical morality. So this is something that Christians can disagree on how this should be handled in the public arena and have some latitude for disagreeing with one another. I'll give you a couple of things that I think should be guiding points of light for us in this. Number one is God has defined what marriage is in the Bible. The Bible starts with a marriage in Genesis, and it's between a man and a woman, and that sets the pattern for the entirety of the Bible. There's never a marriage in the Bible that's between two men or two women that has any kind of a sense of any blessing from God. There's nothing like that. There's not a positive model for it in the Bible. And reinforced throughout the Bible is the idea is marriage is between one man and one woman. So from a spiritual perspective, that definition is set by God, and we don't have the latitude to change it. Now, politically, politicians do all kinds of things in all different types of arenas, but biblically, if you're asking what's the biblical answer to that, well, that's the biblical answer, and the political answer is probably room for a different conversation. But as followers of Jesus, we know exactly what the Bible teaches about that. The other guiding principle that I would say we need to pay attention to is a guiding principle of love and care and concern for human beings, regardless of what their sin type is. Now, all of us are in the same category as we're messed up sinners. And some people may struggle with adultery, and some may struggle with injustice or greed or gossip or homosexuality. It may be all kinds of different sins, but all of us have got different types of sins that we deal with. And I think we need to ask the question, what is the most loving way to deal with people, regardless of what their sinful background is, and put those kinds of things in play. So because those are matters of public policy, I'm not going to draw a very clear line around that, but say Christians have certain disagreements. The Bible teaches very clearly what marriage is and what marriage isn't, and it also teaches very clearly that we're to be loving our neighbors. And my encouragement is, rather than throwing rocks at our neighbors, to love our neighbors and to help them to be able to experience all the fullness and love that there is in the attitude of Jesus.